University Pirates. Respect the H with Eugene Marshall.
Hey Pirate fans, it's game day. Welcome to another segment of Respect the H. It's game day again. We're up in Monmouth, New Jersey, West Long Branch, for our Pirates to take on Monmouth University at 3 o'clock. But let's talk about some of the highlights from last week's great win over Shaw University, 38-10. It was a great all-out effort with our team. And also we want to talk about some of the great wins in our other sports as we go on. We're going to have special guests, Mr. Ryan Anderson, who are our defensive coordinator for our Pirates, and we'll have a former student athlete, former SAC president, Mr. Javon Hutchinson, who's our academic advisor, to talk about some of the things that the Pirates are doing in the community. There's a lot more to talk about. We will be right back here on Respect the H.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students, $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up, opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium. Kickoff at 6.
With the brain tumor being so close to my optic nerve, regular radiation would definitely have damaged those optic nerves. There was that possibility of blindness. Proton therapy gave me the ability to do the things that I need for my family.
This is what cancer treatment looks like at the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute. Minimal damage to healthy tissue, minimal side effects. Live your life. Let us fight your cancer. Ask your oncologist about proton therapy.
New coaches, new conference, same school spirit. Hampton University. Tickets on sale now.
Welcome back, Pirate fans, to Respect the H here on Sky 4. We have with us today Mr. Ryan Anderson, defensive coordinator for our Pirates, who did a great job over the weekend in stopping our rivals, Shaw University, giving up only 10 points in the game. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Appreciate you having me.
You know, you had a great game plan. Just tell our viewers about some of the things that you brought to the table.
You know, and really it's a testament to the players. They bought into the game plan. They've been working really hard since July. And even further than that, even goes back to spring ball. You know, we really wanted to try and be aggressive, but we wanted to be sound as well. So we came out and did some things and took advantage of some things that they did that we saw on tape, but really just kind of tried to get our best playmakers in positions to make plays. That's really what it boiled down to.
And they played with a lot of confidence and, as the young guys say, a lot of swag.
Definitely play with some swag. I think nowadays if you can get that with this generation of players, the confidence and the swag, you can give them to buy in, it really pays off.
I did like the discipline that they showed. They really showed a lot of discipline. They attacked, but they didn't overdo it.
Yes, and that's like I said, we preach that every day because you can't play football without good discipline, any team sport really.
Let's go to the monitor and kind of recap the game as we look at some of the things that Shaw tried to do and we were able to stop them. When we talk about these scheme and cutting out the passing game, they weren't really able to get the ball in the air.
No, you know, and a lot of that really is a credit to our defensive line. You know, they did a great job of just kind of irritating that quarterback all game long, getting back there, affecting him. He was on his back a lot of the time, so he couldn't throw the ball, and I think that really had a big effect on the passing game.
And the run game, how are we able to really not let him outside the box, keep him in the box, and really just cut down the yardage?
Well, for us defensively, it always starts. Our mindset is we want to stop the run and then defend the pass. We want to make them one-handed. And we really did that. Really, the thing that helped a lot was guys knew what they had to do, like you said earlier, playing with confidence and playing with the discipline. In football, really, defensive football, when we talk about run game, it talks about gap discipline and being sound, everybody doing their part and not trying to do something else. I always say do your job so 10 other guys can do theirs.
What do you think about one conversion in 19 third down attempts?
You know, that's interesting. I didn't even know that was a stat until after the game, and Coach Perney came up to me and told me that. Just a testament to our guys. You know, they bought into the game plan. They played exactly how we had practiced all week. And really, again, like I said, the defensive line had a huge part to do with that.
And then 9 yards total. I mean, that's pretty significant.
That's like I said, that's something I didn't know either until after the game. And really, we got them behind the sticks early on, especially on first and second down. They were in long yardage situations a lot of times. And really, when you can get offense into that, you can be one-handed and you can do things defensively to really make it really hard for them on offense.
One of the things I liked was the fact that the offense was a little bit slow in starting off. The defense was right on point, but the defensive team was cheering on the offensive team.
And you're 100% correct, because at the end of the day, we're all a team. You know, we all are on the same page. We're all cheering for each other, rooting for each other. My office is actually beside our offensive coordinator's office, so we talk a lot too. So we're all bought in and making sure we help each other out, because you know every day was not going to be a perfect day for everyone. So.
And when you look at the special teams, I mean, the fact that they blocked the punt, the touchdown, they went at them, and even though in the beginning we got that roughing the punter, it was almost like a precursor to what happened in the third quarter.
Right, and that's, you know, you want guys to be aggressive, and that's really what we did. You know, and Coach Buscemi did a great job of coaching those guys up, and they bought into his scheme as well too. And a lot of our defensive guys are actually on that unit too, so the aggressive mentality is definitely still there. And I mean, it's just great when you kind of see what you've worked on for the last week or even a month now since you've been in training camp comes together.
I mean, it just shows that how everybody bought in on all sides of the ball. Timing was there, desire was there, hustle was there, and teamwork.
Definitely. I couldn't be prouder of the way we played with that mentality, that discipline, that aggressiveness. It's great.
And the penalties were down. I mean, the penalties were down, and Coach Prunty won personal foul. Coach Prunty set the gentleman down, and it sent a message.
Absolutely, and that's one thing we try to do even in practice all year long, was that, you know, that's not going to be tolerated. That's one thing that we always preach, and I think it's paid off. Guys understand, you know, we're about playing football in between the whistle. After that, we don't need any extra stuff.
We also, you want to talk about just how the second half, how we didn't play not to lose, but we continued to play to win, even when the score was up 10, 12 points. That we just kept playing.
Right. And I think really when it comes to the point in a situation like that, it's a lot less about necessarily scheme. Even if we're calling plays that aren't necessarily a blitz or aggressive, what most people would say, we're still going to play our keys, read what we're supposed to do, and play with an attacking mentality, even if we're not blitzing. I think that's really what you saw.
And we didn't give up enough, knowing that we're playing Monmouth today. You didn't give them a lot. We did just enough to win the game, but we didn't show our whole.
Correct. That's something, you know, I'd went into this game and we talked about as a staff. You know, we wanted to do some things just to get our guys used to practicing and doing those things in a full speed live action. But we tried to save a few things to do, try and take advantage. And I always like to say I like to have something up my sleeve for a rainy day.
No, I think that's important because you leave a little bit in the tank, but also there was enough area for improvement that this week's practice could be intense so that they actually know what they need to do. There's a lot more to talk about with Coach Anderson, so stay tuned. We'll be back on Respect the H, Sky 4.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students, $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up, opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium, kickoff at 6.
At the beginning of 2016, I was diagnosed with a pretty large brain tumor and a very rare form of brain cancer. We came to the conclusion that proton therapy was the best solution for me because as a young woman, we wanted to preserve as much of my brain as we could without treating areas that weren't affected by the cancer cells. Proton therapy spared my quality of life. It put a smile back on my face that I hadn't seen in months.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. From our world-class research centers to our dedication to the arts and our athletic programs where we build champions, we've launched satellites that will better predict the weather. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute Cancer Treatment Center is easing human misery and saving lives. Hampton University faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up, opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium. Kickoff at 6.
Welcome back to Respect the H. It's game day here on Sky 4. I'm with Coach Ryan Anderson, defensive coordinator. We're going to review some of the video from the game on last Saturday against Shore University as we prepare for this afternoon's game against Monmouth. Coach, in your perspective here, how do you feel the offense was able to execute that run and play against the defense?
So, really when you get down in the red zone, a lot of the quarterback run game comes alive for most offensive teams, and that's exactly what you see happening right here. Anytime you can run with a quarterback, it makes it extremely hard on defense. We've got to account for everybody, and that's a hard thing to do.
And when you look at, you have a quarterback that runs, and here's where the special teams blocked the punt.
Great job. Great job. We practice special teams every single day. We make a huge emphasis about it. And it's just great to see, I remember we sat in practice and we told the guys, we're going to come after the first punt, and we came after multiple ones, and the guys executed exactly how we had practiced. They
just came all out. And even though we got the penalty in the first quarter, it paid off there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Aggressive mentality.
And then even our field goal kickers were right on. He was right on point.
Great job. And you're always sometimes nervous when you have a true freshman come in and that's who's handling your kicking responsibilities. And he did a great job. He was lights out.
I think those are the things that you kind of hope happen, but they, when they do happen, it's great. And then you look at the defense here.
So right now, anytime you get a running game and you have a quarterback who can run the ball too, anytime you're getting tackles in the backfield and the defensive line are doing it, it's great. It doesn't even get to the linebackers or the secondary. Like I said, those guys did a great job all game.
And the fakes didn't even matter, and they bobbled it there. And
absolutely.
On special teams.
When you're rushing hard and guys are being aggressive, I always tell my guys, when you're aggressive on the football field, good things happen.
And the block punt set that up.
Absolutely. We all three phases play together, special teams, offense, and defense, and that just sets up what we get into right here.
And so the rest of the second half, even now, he's got to pooch it because he's scared to death.
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
Here we're going to go towards the end zone, and he was smart enough to catch the ball right before he got to the end zone.
Right before he got into the end zone and cover himself up, protect himself, but also catch the ball so we don't have a pick or anything like that. It was great. And a lot of times in football, ball security is more important than anything.
And he came back to the ball instead of running away from it.
Absolutely. Once again, we get a quarterback who's athletic and can run around and buy time. That's, if you're sitting on defense and you're watching tape, that's a nightmare for you.
Because you don't know if he's going to run in or pass it. And this time he rolled out, made a great pass to Mr. Bell. And then one of the things that we can talk about, I know you guys were in the locker room, was the halftime performance of our band. But here we have a nice little quarterback keep, but he faked very well, and they all went for it.
Absolutely, and you've got to play very sound on defense when you're getting offense like this. You got to play responsibilities. It's kind of like we talked about discipline earlier. If one guy's out of assignment, it could be a touchdown every single play, and that makes it hard on defense everybody's got to be perfect.
And then right here, right through the crease. That was
great blocking on the perimeter. Great job of making a guy miss in space. You get your skill players in space. That's really what turns into one-on-one tackles, and he made one there.
And that's faith in your teammates.
Absolutely. Same thing. You've got a great job here with the sweep play, but that thing that they have off of that's great is the quarterback run, and you can see that right there. He faked it, so you don't know on defense.
And he didn't know and they didn't know if he was going to run or not.
So, and right here, we talk about getting to the ball, and you can see all the blue shirts that are showing up in the picture. Even if a team gets a completion, we're going to try and run it down. Everybody's getting to the ball.
So they don't get a first down.
Absolutely. And I can't say enough about it. You see the shirts swarming right there to the ball,
exactly.
Same thing.
Exactly.
We've got guys running the ball. The defensive line is irritating the quarterback, and it's what you look for when you're talking about good defensive football.
And you can't beat that. And then you turn around on offense and you have patience.
Absolutely. Quarterback's on the move once again, and you just, it pays off. I know it's tough right here, but there's going to be plays when you're getting that same situation where on offense, there's going to be a big play.
Right. So you sometimes you throw one away, but if you know you have good defense, you know that defense can hold them.
And you got to work together. We did a good job here in these short yardage situations of, being able to get some negative plays, and this is the 4th down play right here. And we blitzed right here, and I think probably the thing that I was, most happy about on this play is we blitzed in this situation. We missed the tackle, but one of the great things we talked about running to the ball, we saved a touchdown right here on this play. By running to the ball right there, we saved a touchdown, and we ended up stopping them later on in that series to hold them to 0 points. So, we get in the red zone. We always preach stopping offense and settling for field goals as opposed to touchdowns.
That's the key.
And this is just a great job coming around the edge and taking the edge and, being able to physical in the finish, but also, having discipline and not, he got a little shove right there as he went out of bounds, but, not reacting to where you get a flag late.
And he knew exactly where he was going. And then you come right back and hit it right to the middle.
Absolutely, great job. I believe he actually had both of the scores right there on offense.
Exactly.
Great job, credit to him and the work he's put in since he's got here.
I tell you, this has been a great day to be a Pirate. We have a lot more to talk about here on Sky 4. Please come back.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students, $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up, opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium. Kickoff at 6.
When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I thought that was a death sentence. It was surgery or regular radiation. They didn't tell me anything about proton therapy. Thank goodness I had people around me that said you need to check out the Hampton University proton therapy. I just was delighted to have proton therapy. I feel great. I had no side effects and I didn't miss a day of work. We're very fortunate to have a facility like this here in Hampton.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
New coaches, new conference, same school spirit. Hampton University. Tickets on sale now.
The rich heritage of Hampton University is now available in a progressive learning environment.
I am University College at Hampton University.
Yo soy University College en Hampton University.
I am University College at Hampton University.
I am University College at Hampton University.
We are University College at Hampton University.
University College offers accredited programs for all progressive learners, online, flexible schedules, military friendly. University College at Hampton University, continuing education you can trust.
Welcome back to Respect the H here on Sky 4. I'm here with Coach Ryan Anderson, defensive coordinator. We're going to talk about the players of the game. First, Coach, let's talk about Mr. Barney.
Byron's done a great job. He came in as a transfer and got here in training camp and done a great job. We got a really deep receiver room. They've competed really well all training camp. I know this because we face them in practice every day. It's a really good group. And it's paying off. His hard work that he's done since he's got here is really paying off. Glad he got both scores.
Both scores. And then defensive player of the game is the defensive line.
So, I said they had a huge effect on the game, especially in the passing game. They got after the quarterback all day. In the run game, they were making tackles in the backfield, which set up a lot of those third and long situations. So I had to give it to that whole group. Anytime you can emphasize those guys because they don't get a lot of credit. A lot of time they do the dirty work and nobody talks about them. They did a great job.
And finally, special teams, Amonte Jenkins.
And it's funny because Amonte is actually a defensive lineman too, so he got 2 awards, I guess you could say, MVP. Great job. He actually blocked a punt. And anytime you can get a defensive lineman to play on special teams and do really well is important. He's a great kid. He's been working hard.
Well, as we kind of fast forward to tonight's game against Monmouth, what do you think the keys are?
The keys to Monmouth, they've got a good offense. The quarterback's really good. They've got really good tight ends and skill guys, and the running backs run the ball. So same thing, we're going to have to stop the run and just defend the pass. That's what kind of our mindset always is, play disciplined football and play good Hampton Pirate football.
Well, Pirate fans, again, it's game day, 3 o'clock, West Long Branch, New Jersey, Monmouth University. I need you to be there. We still have a lot more to talk about. We'll be back on Respect the H.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up. Opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium. Kickoff at 6.
Welcome back to Game Day. Respect the H here on Sky 4. We have a lot of things to talk about, especially our student athletes, which is the hallmark of our athletic program. Not only do they do well in the classroom with a graduation rate that balloons to 79%, but they also are in the community. They believe in character. And I always say culture and I always say community. That's the 3 C's. A gentleman that's going to help us with that is a former student athlete, great all-MEAC track star, and I don't want to embarrass him, but he also was a SAC president. So he understands what it means to be out in the community. And he's the key member of this academic support group that helped us to improve our APR and improve our graduation rate. Mr. Javon Hutchison.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you.
As a former student athlete, and you've been at the highest of highs, you understand what it takes to be successful on the track. You also were a great student, so you also knew what it was necessary to be a great student. Let's talk about that, and then we'll roll right into the community.
Okay. I'd say to be a great student, excuse me, took something that we're focusing actually on with the student athletes this year is time, consistency, and effort. You got to put forth the time, you got to be consistent in everything that you're doing, and all that wraps up with the effort that you put forth in order to be successful.
And when you do that, then you add the community piece. And you did this as a student athlete. How important is that?
It's very important because it gets the current not the current students, but the people in the community, lets the parents see that we're here, we're Hampton University, lets the kids see that they have something to look forward to. This past Tuesday when we took the students out, we had the golf team, the soccer team, the softball, lets them see that there is something that they can look forward to. And it might not just be football or basketball, but a variety of sports.
How did the students feel, the young kids, as you and the student athletes walked to their not only to the school, but to the classrooms? How did they feel?
They loved it. It was us. Actually, the sheriff's department was out there as well. So we were shaking hands, giving high fives to the little kids. They were giving us hugs, and the student athletes loved it. It was a great morning for them, and they were still able to make it back to class on time.
How were the teachers and the principals?
They loved it. They were out there standing right next to us. The principal, along with some of the other staff members, were right out front, and it was just a great morning.
And then as you look at the student athletes, how do you think they felt? Because, usually they grew up looking at other athletes, whether it's high school, college, professionals, and wanting to be like them. But now the shoe's on the other foot where these young people want to be like them.
Right. It takes them back to when they were at that stage. I know for me it was the same way. When I was little, looking at the older kids, like, oh, I want to be you, I want to be you. And now being that person that they're looking up to, it just, like you said, puts the shoe on the other foot. And we love it as the student athletes and as the faculty. And like I said, the kids love it as well.
What are some of the plans that we have to continue this? Because I know it's a year-long program, and you happen to be the person responsible for it. What are some of the schools and ideas that you have in mind?
So this year we worked with Hunter B. Andrews currently. That's the students that the school that we went to this Tuesday. We're actually working with a couple other schools in the area. We have our first SAC meeting coming up the end of the week. Well, next week, and that's when we'll discuss specifics on what things we're going to be doing. But we always do canned food drives, penny drives. We usually do events at different schools in the area. So we're going to discuss the specifics coming up, but then we'll let you know what we have coming up after that.
And the good thing about that is, along with your office and the Office of Marketing and Promotions, we invite young kids to our athletic events. How important is that for the young kids to come and see what a college atmosphere is like?
Again, it's very important because the kids love seeing us out there doing what we do and letting them know we might have a professional sports team in the area, but we do have some great collegiate teams, and just gives them something to look up to. We have a couple little kids that love to wear their pirate uniforms and things like that. So just some great role models right here in the area.
And it really gives them a sense of, hey, once I grow up, I can go to college too.
Right.
And then roll that into some of the student athletes, how they become more responsible and they start to carry themselves like role models, which they might not necessarily do if they didn't have people looking at them or looking up to them.
Correct. Gives them something to look forward to, and hey, just kind of reserve themselves. You know, when you're on campus, sometimes you think you're in a whole nother world, but when you're out there in the community, hey, we're still people. We're still out here impacting people, and people do look up to everything that we're putting out there. So it just gives them a little more responsibility right there.
And then it also helps attendance because they come to the games. Exactly. They get a chance to follow their particular sport, their particular athlete. Yeah. How did the student athletes like the fact that in some cases they have to sign autographs? How do they feel about that?
They love that. And again, just like I said, when I was a student athlete, us and the current student athletes love it because now in a couple of weeks, you got some parents saying, hey, I'll see you at the game. Now when you're at the game, they're calling your number out, they're screaming, they're yelling, and that's somebody that you can look forward to, and somebody that's rooting for you right there in the stands.
Thanks, Javon. These are our student athletes, Pirates in the community. He is a prime example of what it is to be a Pirate. You know, he was a great athlete, great student, got his master's, came back, and now he's giving back not only to Hampton University, but to the Hampton Roads community. We have a lot more to talk about. We'll be back. It's game day. We got to beat Monmouth here on Sky 4.
Get ready for the whiteout as the Hampton Pirates take on the Tennessee State Tigers Saturday, September 15th. It's college night. Visiting students, $10. Join us at the Fan Zone, Kids Zone, and Adult Zone for 21 and up, opening at 4:30. HU Armstrong Stadium. Kickoff at 6.
Welcome back to Respect the H here on Sky 4. It's game day, 3 o'clock at Monmouth. But we had a great week in athletics. We had a whole bunch of winning, which we're about, leaders and champions. Our women's soccer team beat St. Peter's 3-0 for their first Division I victory. Our women's volleyball program went down to Tennessee Tech and won the Tennessee Tech championship by beating University of New Orleans and East Carolina University. So they were 2-1 on that trip. And then sailing won its third opening regatta of the season, 3 for 3, by winning their own regatta. What a great week to be a Pirate. But if you want to watch this afternoon's game at 3 o'clock, ESPN Plus is the way to go. So we need you. If you can't make it to the game, we need your support by going to ESPN Plus. We want to fast forward to next week. We're playing Tennessee State at home, 6 p.m. It's going to be a whiteout. Everybody in the audience, white shirts. I want you ready to go, towels waving. This is going to be a big game for our Pirates. It's great to be a Pirate. You know, there's always a lot to talk about here at Hampton University in our athletic programs. So I want you to stay tuned to next week because we'll have a lot to talk about in Pirate athletics. We build leaders and champions. See you next week. Go Pirates.